Morning all, we've woke up this morning at a little park up just outside of Keswick. We don't give our park ups just because we want to try and keep them to ourselves, because in case they get spoiled or taken away. Yeah, we've come to Latrigg today. We had a bit of snow overnight. It didn't seem a lot last night. We opened the door at about 10 o'clock and there was a little dusting on the ground, but only minimal. But as we woke up this morning, opened the curtains and slid the door open, the fells and the mountains are just completely white from top to bottom. Even at ground level, we've got like an inch of snow, so we're going to go do an easy walk today, Latrigg. It's easily done from Keswick. It's a simple path to follow, so we thought while the weather's as it is, we'll do a nice easy walk in the snow. Few hours. We've got my mum and her partner coming today for a couple of days in the lake, so we're going to meet them in Keswick and have a few beers and go out for a meal or something like that. So got a couple of nights on the campsite as well, which is a bonus for us. So yeah, that mountain there, or fell should we say, with the snow at the top of it, is Latrigg. That's our aim for the day. It's a nice easy path up. I think there'll already be a few people up there, so the path's easy to follow as it is, but there'll be footprints and probably slush up there. The bigger one over here, the massive one with all the snows at Skiddaw and Carlside or Look Pike, they look spectacular with a winter coat on. I've never actually seen these with as much snow as this in the past. As I say, we're just parking here. That's the Keswick Football Club, and this car parking area here, it's decent size, probably get 40 cars or so in. It's £4 donation all day, little donation box as you drive into the gate. You can see slightly more opened up views now of the Skiddaw area. We're just going down this little path now where this runner is. The little fell there is Latrigg, which is our target, so we're going to head down there now. Yeah, this is as much snow as I've ever seen on any of the Lake District fells. So yeah, this is quite spectacular. Mum and Dale have picked a good time to come really when it's like this. Although we'll spend most of the time next 2 days in the pubs. Started to make a bit of headway on the ascent now. We're a couple of 100 metres up, but you'll see the actual valley and the fells in the background are all covered with snow. Quite unusual really, because normally Keswick seems to just avoid a lot of the snow. We was here just before Christmas and we was in Hartsop at Brothers Water, Sykeside camping park, and we had a big dumping of snow. There was like one day where it just came down. I think they had some like 16 inches in the Glasdale Forest. We had about 7 or 8 inches at Sykeside, but Keswick totally avoided it, so don't know why that was. Me and Lee have just been discussing like the snow we've had since being away. We've had a little bit in Scotland for a couple of days on and off, and we've gone up Helvellyn and Blencathra and got snow. But this is the most snow we've had at lowest level, besides let's say that one day in Braemar, which you'll have seen in a previous video, our snow day video. Just so you have an idea what sort of depth of snow we've got up here. It's not all that high either. There's a little fence post here with the snow on, I'd say good 3 to 4 inches just there, and that's just on the fence. It's definitely getting deeper as we're walking up this trail. Where Leah is now, obviously the path's a bit slushy, but this snow to the right of me or left of me, whichever way that one is, I can't remember. It's about 4 to 5 inches deep, so I think it's going to get deeper even higher.
Brought your drone. I
should have brought my drone. After my last incident, I need to learn how to get some confidence with it again. I can hear somebody's got a drone out, but yeah, the Blencathra video, you'll see my drone crash. This is our last weekend in the lakes for a while now. We're going to head home on Monday, and this is Saturday currently, and we're going to go back to where we live in Hull for a couple of weeks, regroup, sort all of our stuff out, and then we're heading into Europe for our next adventure, European road trip, which we're going to share with you all. We're aiming to we'll get the ferry from Hull to Rotterdam. We're going to drive through to Germany, Austria, Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, Montenegro, Bosnia. That's the plan anyway. What we're hoping to do is hit like 8 to 10 weeks probably in Europe initially, and then head to Bosnia and Montenegro to get out the Schengen, leave a couple of weeks Schengen left, and then we can have 6 weeks or whatever in Bosnia and Montenegro, and then we've got 2 weeks to make our way back home for our Schengen days fully expire for the next 90 days. I thought I'd just add that these videos are a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks behind, so by the time you're seeing this video, what I've just said about us being in Europe, we will actually be in Europe. We've got the ferry on the 19th of March, which we're heading over to Rotterdam, so we're getting to Europe on the 20th in the early hours of the morning, about 7 AM, I think, 6 AM. So when you've seen this, we will actually be out and we'll be recording some, if not all, of our European adventures. The one thing I would like to ask any subscribers or anybody watching this video is your experiences with like Bosnia and Montenegro, if you've been there. I heard varying things about having to get travel insurance or car insurance, van insurance at the border. Like, is it worth the paper it's written on? Is it a necessary legal requirement there? Where would you go besides the usual Sarajevo, Mostar, those areas? Because I'm in the process of doing some research, but I haven't actually got too deep into it yet. So if anyone's got any tips or hints, it'd be much appreciated. Well, I'm in my element. Anyone who knows me knows I love snow. It's like, it's just everything. It's brilliant. I love getting out in the mountains, getting out in the snow, especially at this stage when it's fresh. Once it's gone slushy and all icy and just hangs around for ages, I'm fed up of it. But this is just, as you say behind me, just these lovely crisp white fells. Behind us, just thick white snow. It's spot on. We didn't think we'd have got any of this in the lakes at this point, with it being early March. We thought we probably missed it, but we had a good downpour last night, so this is just an unexpected bonus in our last weekend here. Anybody that's possibly interested in following us on our social media accounts, there's two. There's Instagram. There's my Instagram, which is Danny the Reluctant Hiker, and there's Leah's, which is the Humber Hikers. That's like our official sort of Instagram page. That includes all of Leah's photography and things like that. Leah spends a lot of time with photographs. She does that side of things, and I'm trying to do the YouTube videos. If you've watched a few of our previous videos, you might have seen a slight change in direction with the channels. I'm just trying something different and just trying my own spin on things as well, because it was too much. Leah was doing it all really, photos, YouTube, and it was just so time consuming. So I've decided to just take the YouTube side of things on, and hopefully you're enjoying what we're bringing to you so far. The path we're actually on now is just this little, like, it's normally a stone pitch path all the way up to the summit. It's impossible to lose. Gained a lot more height now. You may just see over there is like the town of Braithwaite. Bassenthwaite Lake is just over here. Behind me, Derwent Water there with Cat Bells just behind it over there. And then this is the summit of Latrigg up there in the direction Leah's heading. We're not a million miles away from the summit of Latrigg now. Probably about another 5 to 10 minute walk. The path's not been so bad, to be honest. If anything, the snow's really soft. It hasn't had time to freeze or pack down or anything, so it's quite nice and easy to walk on, giving you good grip. As I said, there's already a few people ahead of us, so the summit's normally quite busy any time of year. We're going to drop off the back of this down like a slope and pick up a little farm trail, and then we'll join on to the Keswick to Threckeld railway track. The sun's just starting to break through over there near Grazedale Pike, starting to illuminate it. It looks really impressive with the light on the snow, but it seems the sun's coming up, so that means probably the snow's not going to hang around too much longer, especially in the lower parts, because it's due to get up to about 3-4 degrees today, so I think most of that will go. This stuff up here I've got a feeling is going to hang around for a few days though, but we've hit it at the best time when it hasn't turned to ice. Just behind me there you'll see a few people sat. There's like a little bench, and that is like the main viewpoint of Latrigg. It's not actually the summit though. The summit is about another 300 yards that way. Where Leah is now is the actual viewpoint. As you can see that's why. Derwent Water just in front there. Cat Bells over there. All the Newlands Horseshoe, Coaldale Horseshoe. There's a little family up there with a couple of kids, and that is the summit of Latrigg. So we've only got maybe 100 metres or so to go to get to the summit. I think what I'm going to do though, I've got a dry bag in my backpack. So I think I might do is once we get over the other side, it's quite like hilly rather than sort of more edgy and mountainous. So I think I might get the dry bag and try and slide my little self down the side of this hill. This is brilliant. Honestly, it's a good 6 to 8 inches deep up here, despite the fact we're low. As you see, I'll just show you what we've got here. They've got that there. Put my foot in. It's at least 6 inches, 8 inches. Real well here is there. We've just skated off the path because that bit of path down there where she's just to the left of her is a bit icy, so we're walking in the actual snow. But as I was going to say, do you know when you get an idea in your head and 99% of your mind's telling you that it's a bad idea, the 1% is saying do it.
Love it.
I'm going to listen to that 1%. I'm going to try and slide down the bottom of that with a dry bag. Now whether that'll work, I don't know, but I'm approaching the edge, so I'm going to have a little look. But as it drops off over that way, I figured there's nothing there apart from like a little dip, so I'm not going to fall off the edge or not going to particularly hurt myself all being well. But if anybody from a travel insurance company is watching this, just turn a blind eye or maybe skip for the next 30 seconds to a minute. Thank you. I'll say this little bit while Leah's around. I'm 40 this year and I should probably know better than trying to sledge off the edge of like a fell on my ass on the dry bag, but hopefully I'm trying to run away from here so she doesn't hit me. But hopefully I won't look back on this as a disaster. She loves a bit of the snow, does Leah? She's just dragging her feet forward. You won't kick any snot at me. I'll have video evidence of it. She tried kicking some snot at me, but not very successfully.
I don't want to get wet. I've got consideration.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I've come up with a really good idea. I filled this little dry bag up with a bit of air. Hopefully this sort of acts like a bit of a cushion and a seat for me, so as I start gliding down the snow at high speeds, high velocity, that it should pick up, and it should also cushion my ass in case I hit any rocks. So that's the plan. I'm going to have a little bit of a test run in a minute. I'm quite embarrassed because there's a lot of people around me and I am getting on a bit, so I don't know. But if you can't have fun in the snow, when can you? Leah don't think it's a good idea.
I don't think it's not a good idea. I just think personally, you don't need air in the bag. I think you'll get a better...
Oh, look at these dogs in the snow there. So sorry, I've been distracted by dogs. He's got little snowballs stuck to his leg. But yeah, the plan is to use this to sit on and slide down the hill. I will get Leah to record me at some point. There's a little hill here I'm going to probably test it on in a minute. I fell off my bag. It didn't quite work to plan, so we'll try that one again. It's not really going downhill, I need something faster. It's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. I might just try it. I think the snow's too soft. I think that's the problem. And I just keep sinking into it because I'm a bit overweight. I've just clipped it to my finger too. Back to the drawing board. Just gonna have a little test slope. So far, I've had two relatively unsuccessful, pretty honestly piss poor attempts. So I'm going to do the obvious thing and go onto a steeper slope to try and gain some traction. As you'll just see there, twice I fell off, so this slope may be okay. I'll get Leah to record me. It's not doing it, Leah. Apparently walking in is quite difficult. That's 4 times I've nearly fell over, then I couldn't have put that at a better time, could I? This has got potential on it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Successful. I'm concerned I'm going to get wet and mucky ass. Well, that one, as you could probably expect, was a spectacular failure. Couldn't get the air right in the bag. Personally, I'm blaming the gradient of this thingy and the softness of the snow. Nothing personal, because it was an engineering marvel. But I think the one thing against it is the snow's that fresh and that soft that it was just pushing. It hadn't actually had a chance to kind of freeze to the ground and create a bit of a hold. So that's my theory. And if you're a scientific person, I won't hear any other argument, and I won't have any other answer than the fact it was bad snow. I never understood before when people go skiing, they say it's not the right sort of snow. I get it now, I understand you, I feel you. We've made our way now off the summit of Latrigg. You'll just see in the distance. I've just tried my terribly failed attempt at sort of arse boarding down the snow. We're just on this track now. The snow's starting to thin out a little bit, so we should be a bit better underfoot. The last 15-20 minutes coming down has been quite slippy. The mud underneath, with all the rain they've had recently with the top of the snow, it's just kind of pushing away from under your feet, so we've nearly slipped over a few times. But yeah, we're going to head now to the railway track. It's about another 15-20 minute walk to that, and then we're going to head back into Keswick and meet my mum and her partner over here. They just at Grasmere now, so once we get sorted down and into the town, it's probably going to be roughly dinner time, 1 o'clock. Maybe meet them and then we'll go get checked into our campsite. We're almost down to the railway track now. There's usually a little ice cream man here. I'd be very surprised if he's here this time of year, early March, but you never know. We came in December and he was there, so there's always an off chance that he may still be there because it's a busy route, so he probably will make his money. But yeah, we're not far now from the track, and then once we get that, I think we've got about 2 miles to walk, so we're getting to the centre of Keswick. This railway path has actually only last few years been reopened due to the damage caused by Storm Desmond in December 2015. A lot of the bridges we're going to cross on this path, there's one just coming up now, actually got washed away because it was the record river levels. It was carrying broken down trees, logs, everything down, and it just wiped these bridges out. So what you'll see over there, that new metallic bridge, is actually a new one because the old originals just got destroyed, and it's a shame. A lot of Cumbria got really badly damaged in that flood. One of the times, I think it was record rainfall. I'm certain Seathwaite had over 300 millimetres in 24 hours, which is over a foot of rain, so you can see why it flooded. The ice cream man's not here. That's usually his spot there, so he's not here today. Missing the boat because there's a bit of sun now. This is the final sort of 15-20 minutes on this railway track. There's some parking at the leisure centre. I think it's £4 for 4 hours or something. We found somewhere a bit that we know in the centre where it's £4 for all day, so that's good value. There is street parking if you get here early enough, what's free, but it's a little bit out the way from the city centre, but it depends how much you're willing to walk. It saves a few quid, it's worth doing. Unusually for us on the Humber Hikers, we're going into a pub, i.e. the Wetherspoons, and we're not having a drink.
I might have a drink, it's nearly 12 o'clock.
It's before 12 o'clock, because I was just going to say it's quarter to 12. So the plan was to go and have a coffee. My mum and her partner have just arrived, so we're going to have a coffee. Going to go see if we can find them now, and if that's the case, it may turn into a drink if this one has out to do with it. But you wouldn't have thought this after she was hungover in Keswick on Friday morning after a Thursday night out. Just fell up the step. It's a bit early, isn't it?
Oh no.